Hi, this is Ron Stanfield. I want to welcome you to the Big Honker podcast.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker podcast brought to you by Dive Bomb Industries. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
I might have butchered that. It was a hair off, Jeff. A hair off.
That's a lot today.
That's
Supposed to be professional.
That's right. Not today.
So, how was your hunt today?
Excellent. We can talk to this guy about it.
Well,
He's my good luck charm. We're figuring out.
We have had 3 absolute bangers.
Well, let me introduce people to who you are.
Oh, son of a... I'm sorry.
You can say son of a bitch and shit. There you go.
Well, yeah.
Shit.
From Split Reed in Salt Lake City via the girls softball team, Mr. Ryan Barnes.
What's up?
Did you catch any shit off of that when you said that about all the dykes playing softball?
No. I usually catch more shit when I tell people that I play men's fast pitch softball, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, you're gay." No, not gay. Just I don't know.
I had to deal with a gay guy today.
You did?
Did you?
In court? You didn't have court.
No, I just had to deal with a gay guy today.
You got your
I'll
brother.
tell you the
You
story.
deal with your brother every day.
He just doesn't know he's gay.
Yeah. Well, he's just waiting to get sucked into it.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you have to deal with the gay guy at Santa?
No.
Sat on your lap.
No.
That's that was another Pete. That's another Pete joke. You got to meet Pete Peterman today. He's a legend out here at Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. Might be the raunchiest individual
He's the
to ever come through the door.
The crudest fucker that ever lived, but one of the nicest men.
Oh,
You can call Pete anywhere. I could call him tomorrow and say, "Hey, I'm in Moline, Illinois, and I'm stuck, and I need some help," and he'd come help me.
He was hilarious. I mean, it was
he's
just
always
joke
on.
after joke after joke. Hilarious.
I don't know how he remembers them all the time.
He's a good shot too.
Yes, he is.
He's a very good
Dude, he
shot.
was
Yes, he is.
fast to the trigger, and I mean, anytime that like it was out of my lane, so I just watched.
Did you
Fucker
sit right
didn't
next
miss.
to Pete today?
No, I was there. My dad, some other dude. There was 3 guys.
Three
between
guys
me
in
and
between
Pete.
you.
When Pete got here, or Pete's group came up, and he's got a bunch of veterans. We got a bunch of veterans, wounded warrior type guys here right now that Pete brought with him. And Pete tells me on the phone, he said, "Yeah, so and so's been there earlier. He's a vet." I'm thinking veterinarian. That's what I'm thinking, veterinarian. So this guy comes in and looks like a member of Delta Force, and I think the guy was a Delta Force guy. And he come in and he's got the beard and the dad bod or whatever it is, and so he starts talking to him and stuff. And I said, "Oh, you're a vet, right?" Yeah. I said, "Blake's been having trouble with his balls." I said, "One of them's not working right or something." And that guy said, "Well, let me see it." I said, "Blake, show me your balls." And Blake's like, "No." So then we started talking about 5 minutes later. I said, "Do you do big animals or little animals?" He goes, "Well, I've done a lot of animals." He said. I said, "Aren't you a veterinarian?" He goes, No, I'm a veteran. Veteran. I was like, "Oh." And he said, "I'll still take a look at his balls if you let me look at him."
Oh shit!
Blake's a lot of talk. Blake wouldn't pull him out.
Blake wouldn't?
No, all talk.
All talk.
All talk. All
Damn.
talk. We didn't do that. Blake is like a hairless cat too.
Yeah, he doesn't have any hair from his chin pubes down. He's
Yeah,
hairless.
there he is right there, just talking about him. I mean, no hair, nowhere on that
Talking
body,
about how hairless you are.
other than the Amish beard. I was talking about your balls yesterday and the guy.
You weren't willing to whip him out?
Why? If you had a spot that needed to get checked out.
Now, it would have really been awkward. It would have been really awkward if he'd have fondled your balls and done an examination, and then to find out he's just a vet, not a veterinarian. That would have been really.
That would have been
rough.
All of a
Fucking
sudden,
great.
You're just sitting here getting an exam and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing."
I'm not qualified for this at all.
But Blake is like a hairless cat, except that bad Amish beard.
Mm-hmm.
He's been growing that fucking beard for 20 years, I think.
He's been trying to. He's a character. He really is.
Have you ever seen the original Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau?
Yeah, I love it.
And the fat kid's eating the fried chicken.
Yeah.
That's fucking Blake. Sitting on the toilet eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's Blake when he's little.
What was that kid's name?
I think Oglethorpe. Just put fat kid on original Bad News Bears. It'll show up to him. Or the kid on Sandlot, the kid that pukes off everybody, gets a chaw for everybody. Yeah. That could also be Blake.
Because my favorite one, the better Bad News Bears is the newer one.
See, I don't think so.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
No, because see, the original Bad News Bears, I grew up with those kids. That's it. Every kid had a Kelly, the delinquent kid who's 13 years old, who smoked Marlboros, whose mom was a stripper or something during the day or bartender, and he stayed home by himself and got in trouble. Every neighborhood had one of those kids. Every one of them. That was normal. But that's the time I grew up. I mean, it's just exactly the way it was when I grew up as a kid.
Couldn't find him eating chicken, though, but is he that kid?
Oh, yeah, that's him right there. Don't that look just like fucking Blake? Without the fucking starter beard?
Yeah, you give him a greasy Amish beard. That's spot on.
Yeah.
Blake Poppy.
The best part of the whole thing is the kid in the middle, Tanner, right there. The one we're talking to Walter Mather, that kid right there. He brings a girl out to play ball. Tatum O'Neal comes up to her, and he said, "Fucking great. We got a spick, something, and a something." He calls everything racially incorrect, and now we got a fucking girl on the team. And I laughed so hard. And it wasn't that big a deal back then.
No.
But everybody today you could do it because everybody's too sensitive. They've killed comedy. Oh, damn! I mean, Dave Chappelle, he can't even make fun of people no more.
That's the best part. Dave Chappelle. If you've seen like his 3 Netflix series, they're brilliant. Mm-hmm. I mean, comedic. It is awesome.
Juicy Smollett is great.
Yeah, Juicy Smollett is. And then even his things where he's like, I've got nothing wrong with the L's. I've got nothing wrong with the G's, or the B's, or the pluses. But it's the fucking T's that get me.
It's the T's that get me.
Well, I'm with him there.
No, and then he goes on just this tear. And the cancel culture has been trying their damnedest to get him over this tirade that he's been going on for like 3 Netflix specials over the transgender community.
I know.
And they can't get him because he's Dave Chappelle.
Right.
But I think it is just brilliant that it's like, yeah, guess what? Sorry. You're not going to stop Dave Chappelle. I'm going to say what I want, and guess what? The root of all sarcasm is a seed of truth.
Yes. No, that's exactly right. That's the thing about comedy is it's only funny when it's true.
Yeah.
Like the more at home that it is. Uh-oh. You got to go poop or what? No, you got what? Oh. The closer to home that it is, it makes it funnier. And I mean and if you look at any society, back in the old days, you couldn't hang the court jester because he was the only person there that could tell the truth, and that's what comedians are. They're court jesters. They tell the truth about what's going on in today's society.
Oh, I
mean, they just want to get rid of these people, and it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious.
That's what I don't understand though. Is it's like I don't get how people get so. Wouldn't that just be miserable to live your life in a constant state of just being offended by everything?
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I've got thick skin. Jeff's got thick skin. Like, you want to talk shit? Go ahead. You're more than welcome to your opinion.
What'd I miss?
We're just talking about how miserable these people have to be offended just by everything, and not even by somebody else's words. Like you were taught a long time ago. That's sticks and stones, motherfucker.
Look, I'm the perfect person to get fucked with. I'm straight. I'm white. I'm fat, and I'm under 6'2". And have a short penis. So go with all that. And you know what? You can make fun of me on every one of them things, and I don't care. You're not going to bother me. I know. I had this dyke one time in Oklahoma at a gas pump. She had on a Hillary Clinton sticker. I'm with her or some shit. I'm like, I bet you've been with a lot of hers, So she called me a fat ass. Ma'am, listen, if we're going to get into war of words here, you're going to do a whole lot better than that shit. I mean, come on now. I'll help you out even if you want me to. But fat ass ain't going to bother me at all. And I don't understand people that get their feelings hurt about anything. That's why black comedians were the best, because they make fun of everybody, And they can't do that now hardly anymore. But transgender deal, let's talk about that for a second. We got a man who's born with a penis. On his birth certificate, it says male. Who the fuck does he think he's kidding? He's a guy. He can grow tits all he wants to and get something chopped off, but he's still a guy. He produces sperm. If your body makes sperm, you're not a fucking woman. Bottom line. And the flip side of that is, if your ass can't make sperm, you're a fucking woman. You're not a man. So you can tell yourself a lie. You can tell your husband, lover, whatever the fuck it is. You're still a husband, or you're still a man or a woman. I don't care who you sleep with, but you can't change your identity of your sexual identity.
What about if you're fixed and you no longer produce sperm?
You're still born. Did you produce eggs?
So
Then you're a man. If you don't have ovaries.
What if you're born?
Oh goddamn, we're
what
gonna
if
go
you're
to
born?
Well,
the 1 in a billion people.
you said if you don't make sperm, you're not a man. That's I mean.
Okay, if your body is supposed to make sperm, if you shoot blanks, it don't matter. You're still a man.
What is supposed to?
If you have a fucking vas deferens, you're a fucking man. Okay. If you
A
don't
what?
have, never mind. It's above your head. That's a medical term. Andy.
The vas deferens.
Vas deferens?
I thought you took that anatomy class at Tech.
We didn't talk about a vas
Do
deferens.
not go to a doctor at Tech if you're having your penis worked on. Okay.
Any person who has watched the TV show Letterkenny, you know exactly what the vas deferens is.
Letterkenny.
It's a word I learned.
Is that
in
where you
7th
got
grade.
it from, Letterkenny?
I'd have never seen whatever you're talking about. No, I learned it in 7th grade in fucking biology class
You
or
haven't
chemistry.
watched Letterkenny Problems?
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude.
Some of this stuff that's today that a lot of young people think is really funny and shit. Like what about Mary with Brett Favre and stuff in it? And the blonde-headed chick opens the door and she's got the spooge in her hair. You know what I'm talking about? That show?
I don't even know what the fuck a spooge is.
Sperm. Anyways,
Jizz.
and she puts it in her hair, like it's, oh, looky there. Oh, yes, I need some. And she puts it in my. Anyways, the funniest part of that whole fucking movie is when the dude gets a date with a hot chick, and he goes, oh, my friends are going to look at me so different now. And he tells them, and they're like, you're a fucking liar. She ain't going out with you. And I thought, that's fucking funny right there, because that's true. But I didn't like that show much. I didn't think it was very funny.
Yeah, I've never even seen it.
I had given up on comedy with the new generation's movies until Wedding Crashers came out and Hangover. And those are two of the funniest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life.
No, Wedding Crashers is brilliant. Hangover, those are two. Those ones are.
They're top teners.
Have you seen Step Brothers?
That's a top tenor too.
I mean, they're
those
funny.
are good shows. Old School is really good.
Old School's brilliant.
Animal House to me is still one of the best ever. When he's taking the chick's bra off and she's 14.
This is what's funny. Is we're just talking about this, and this is the headline on Yahoo. Is I guess
Transphobia
this
is not a
this
joke.
lady is wants Dave Chappelle to donate cash to trans charity.
Okay, look at that thing right there. Is that a man or a woman?
That is
one ugly bitch.
that
That's
is
a
a
woman.
that is a biological male.
Okay. He wasn't getting much action from females, so he said, you know what, fuck, I'm going to go to this other side and see what's going on, too. And he ain't getting much action there either because he's just ugly. I mean, let's face it right now. That sumbitch right there better have served a lot of alcohol if he wants to get laid or she wants to get laid.
Transphobia is not a joke. But why is that off limits? Why can we joke about everything else except for transsexual people?
I don't know.
Why is that the one thing that we can't joke about?
Do you have any gay friends?
Yes.
I have some gay friends.
Actually, yeah, I've got one of my cousins who was probably one of my better friends growing up. She came out of the closet and got married to a woman.
So and I've got some gay friends. Every gay friend I have is not into all this shit.
No.
They're not in. They don't want the flags. They don't want all that bullshit and stuff. I mean, I don't give a shit if you're gay or not. I've been to the gay capital of the world, Provincetown, Massachusetts. Have you been there?
Yes.
That's the gay capital of the world. I've never seen so many gay people in my entire life. I mean, it's dripping with gay. When you drive down the town, from you go in till you go out. I didn't care. They didn't bother me none at all. I have no problem with them. But don't do all this this trans bullshit, and this going to bathrooms in different places or something. I don't care. And you know what? The gay people that I'm friends with and I know are as good a people as anybody I know. Good people. They just sleep with somebody else than I would.
Well,
but
dude,
they're still great people. I like them.
The thing that I don't understand, you know what, most of the gay people that I know is it's like, dude, they might be wired a little different, but they just want to be loved.
That's all they is. I mean, that's all it is.
And I got nothing wrong. You know what? If you want to be loved, go get love.
Go do it where you got to get it from. But I mean, it's just, I think everybody just wants to do their own shit and be left alone
I've got
more than anything.
I'll tell you what I feel bad. There's a couple of people I know that are gay. I got one buddy of mine that I don't think he knows he's gay, but I think he's gay, and he just hadn't realized it yet. Come to the terms. But the sad thing is they're never going to have kids, and they've been great parents. Yeah. Good people, and I always feel bad for them on that deal because the world missed out on some really good parents that would have done a good job raising kids, and that I feel bad about. But I get so I get so tired of having shit jammed in. Like you can't even watch a show anymore. It's got to have a gay couple. Commercials the same way. Mm-hmm. Do you really give a fuck if Dove soap is used by 2 gay dudes or to a straight dude and a straight woman? I mean, do you really care? No.
There are people that do though, like, because that's what like. We study that. We oh my gosh, use English. We study target marketing and things like that. And yeah, there are people when all of a sudden they realize that like, oh, you know what? They're showing support to the LGBTQ plus binary bullshit. We're going to support them. And okay, so like for me, no, absolutely. I don't give a shit. But there are people that they do.
I go to Target. That's about the least heterosexual store you can go to in America. Yeah. They should pass tampons out at the fucking front door. I'm serious. If you see 2 dudes walking around at Target together, they're on a fucking date. They're not looking for fishing lures or fucking shotgun shells. They're on a date. And so, but I go there. I don't care. But I'm not going to buy something just because it's straight people. But they have to include a gay something in everything. I just don't understand that. What is wrong with having a nuclear family of a man and a woman and 2 kids? You know, why is that bad? Andy, you lived in that life. You live about as nuclear as you can fucking be.
Well, I'm very square, Jeff.
No, you're really not. Well, yeah, you kind of fucking are, but you just don't know it. But
I just fucking admitted it. What are you talking about?
Well,
I don't know.
I was just kidding. Andy and Jesse got 2 little boys. They do family vacations. Andy piss poorly coaches athletics. I'm so embarrassed. Andy has lost more games already as a coach with kids coaching than I ever lost.
Wait a second.
You have.
Coach?
I never lost.
Your fucking crop of talent was impressive.
It's because I was.
You
a good
had
coach.
one kid that had he stayed out of trouble, probably could have gone to the NFL or MLB if he wanted to,
and been a Hall of Fame player. Probably.
Yeah.
He's
so
that kind of talent.
Just give me a fucking break on this shit.
So
you had his stud brother. Mm-hmm. You had me. You had my cousin who played rugby in college. You had about 6 or 7 workhorses.
I never said that, but I brung out the best in them. But anyways, Andy coaches kids sports, is a deacon at his church.
Not a deacon.
Well, you're on the committee that does fires preachers and gets them paid and all that shit. So Andy's high up in the church. My daughter-in-law cooks for everything. Actually, I sometimes reference Desi more as my daughter and Andy be my son-in-law. But anyways, perfect parents. Take their kids to church. Kids say prayers every night. Good, wholesome American family. And Andy would be looked down upon and frowned upon, but that should be the person you're selling products for, you know? From tampons to massage oil, that households, because that's what America used to be like. Everybody was like that. Now, that's the, that's not the norm anymore.
Well, and you want to know the house, in my opinion, the household that's, when shit hits the fan, is still going to maintain a paycheck. Like, if you want to look at this from in a business perspective, who you really probably want to keep marketing to, that's the household that's still going to be able to buy the product that you're selling
if
when
shit
hits the fan.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's what Andy and them are. They also work out of the box. Jesse's
that really pisses people off.
Esthetician. Correct?
Esthetician. We're both self-employed, basically.
Andy's self-employed. I mean, we do a podcast. He guides hunts. They do what they like to do, and they have a lot of freedom because they're self-employed, and they both make a good living. Well, boy, that really irks a motherfucker off that's making $10 an hour. They hate that shit.
9 to 5.
Yeah. And because the government wants us all to be 9 to 5 monkeys is what they want us to be. Everyone
with masks on. Hey, speaking of masks, I saw there are, I'll see if I can find it real quick. There are camps set up in Australia.
Oh, yeah, they're determined
COVID
camps.
people. Yeah, they're internment camps.
No, it's not for COVID. It's for unvaccinated.
Oh, unvaccinated.
Yeah, not just people that have COVID. They're just taking the people that are unvaccinated and stick them out in the desert somewhere and probably going to shoot them.
But
they already have a problem there because they have more women than men.
In Australia?
Yeah. And they got some hotties. Wouldn't that be fun to be single and go over there and do that shit?
I'm not gonna lie, that would.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad deal.
I had a buddy of mine told me he was in the Navy or something there, and they'd pull up the ship. And some girls would be just lined up, waving at the guys come by trying to find him a man. I thought, those would be the kind of odds. That fucking shim right there, he wouldn't be a fucking a binary or whatever the fuck he is no more. He'd be fucking still. He'd be a fuck machine if he was in Australia right there.
Now they're saying the next Bitcoin is going to be unvaccinated sperm. Because I guess everybody's going to be.
How old do you have to be to cash in on this?
I don't know.
'Cause I've been thinking about that. Them old boys of mine. So guys like Blake, that he dribbles it in the shower all the time. Better start saving onto them things.
He's pissing on. He's pushing money down the drain. Is all that he's doing.
Oh shit!
Hold the cup for me, Mama. Help me. Paying bills right now. Michelle, we're gonna have a house in Maine before you know it.
Unvaccinated sperm.
But there it is, right there. And
This house was bought by unvaccinated sperm.
But they're saying like you can't leave your porch. So like they've got like just those are houses right there. They're saying you can't leave that porch without a mask on. And that's over in Australia.
What a twat waffle.
Okay, I would say this though. People were always talking about how bad Canada was.
Mm-hmm.
Australia was, because I had a friend that came into the United States. He was dual citizenship, so he was able to get in.
Mm-hmm.
He he was supposed to leave and go back at the end of or beginning of August. Didn't he did so that Australia went back into some quarantine deal where they're like, you know what, no flights coming in. We finally got it. We have no positive cases. So then they cut off all flights to the United States. So then he had to quarantine for some random reason here before he could even be eligible for a flight into Australia. And then after he quarantined, they canceled all of his flights again. So then he had to get into touch with the Australian government to even be able to see if they could orchestrate a flight to get him home. Keep in mind, the kid's like 18 years old.
Yeah.
So his flight, it's at this point, it's not even delayed. It's like a new flight, but it's, a month later, they're finally able to get him home. He had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and this is after he got 2 vaccinations in the United States and a booster vaccination over there.
Gee. How are these people going to wake up? I mean, they're just going to keep adding different versions of this and variants and all this shit until they got everybody sitting at home. Well, let me finish real quick before I forget. We have a guy here right now that works for the State Department, and he worked under Trump. And we were talking in the office yesterday. He told me, because I said, they're wanting to change it now where if you do domestic flights, you have to have a vaccine card to fly. So all we keep doing is bailing the fucking airlines out. We got to write them checks all the time because they get going. And now you want to tell 20% or 30%. What is it? I think 35% of the people in the country have not been vaccinated.
Is it over that? Do you think it's 65%?
That have been vaccinated? I don't know. I'm just guessing. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I bet it's way lower than that. I bet we might be at 60%.
I figure 60% because a lot of old people have. I know a lot of conservative Republicans have been vaccinated, so I'm gonna give them 65%. Probably actually the number of people vaccinated is the number of the people that voted for that dumb bastard.
I bet you're pretty close. I bet you were at 35% unvaccinated.
And that's what I'm
59.
thinking too. It's 59%.
58.9.
So 60% of the people. So 4 out of 10 people haven't been. So you're going to take 40% of your airline business, and you're going to tell them they can't fly no more? Oh, that's a real fucking good business model. And Biden, his dumb fucking shit in the pants, Fruit Loop eating bastard, he don't have a clue what's going on.
That was as of September 27th.
Well, so it's went up now. So it's
around 60%.
So the guy tells me today, he goes, yeah, they were pushing that, but he goes, all of a sudden something stopped on that. That was going to be big news coming out next week. We're going to make everybody fly. You're going to have a vaccine card. He said, all of a sudden it's gotten quiet. That don't mean they won't do it still. But he goes, all I can figure out is somebody in the room said, hey, this ain't really a good idea. We better pump the brakes a little bit on this shit because we're already losing people left and right on our own side. And you're just ostracizing more of them. Because you can't tell me in the Democrats that have been, I know that the black community has not, they're the least vaccinated of any ethnic group, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're around 30%.
Right on, brother. I'm with them.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down. And we're finding more and more times that a lot of the black athletes and celebrities have not gotten vaccinated either.
AB.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out yesterday or the day before.
Well, and
Fake vaccine card.
everybody's throwing a shit fit because they're like, oh, well, AB, he lies about getting a vaccine and he gets penalized or he gets suspended. What was it?
3 games.
And Aaron Rodgers only got fined $5,000.
Yeah.
5,000. Yeah. And they're like, well, okay, look. Aaron Rodgers lied to the media. He never lied about not getting his vaccine.
The Packers knew he didn't have it.
The Packers and the NFL.
AB showed him a fake card.
AB lied
Yeah.
about he lied to the NFL about having the vaccine. It was completely fake.
What gets me about that whole deal is,
It's a big difference.
Dipshit Skip Bayless yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that's a broke a federal law. There's no federal law that says you have to have a vaccine. I don't know where. There's not been a law put up that said you have to have a vaccine
No,
card. They
it's
just
not-
keep telling you that.
it's
there's
not even
There's
a-
not a law.
It's not a state law
No.
in Florida.
Yeah, so he didn't break a fucking law. Lying and showing him something is not law because it's not a federal document.
No.
You know.
I mean, for him, the only organization that is telling him that he has to have that vaccine is the NFL.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if the owner of the Bucks said he had to, but
See, and me and Andy differ on this. I think if you own a team, I think any business, you have the right to tell your employees. If I tell the guys, listen, you got to have vaccines to work here, and if they say, I'm not getting a vaccine, that's fine. You can go get a job somewhere else. But these are the rules we're going to have to live by. I think the NFL can say, hey, listen, if you're going to play NFL for me, you got to have a vaccine. Now, you're also taking a chance that you're going to lose your best guys or they're going to lose their best football players. But those people have an option to quit and go to work somewhere else if they want to. The problem is in the NFL, it's hard to find a job that's going to pay you $35 million to play quarterback. You know, 7-Eleven's not hiring that.
But the problem that I have with that argument is, where is the line? Does it stop at a vaccine? Because if it stops at a vaccine, I might be with you. But if it comes to getting my knee scoped at the end of the year, I'm going to have to disagree and say, no, they don't have. Organizations should not be able to tell their players what they're having to do medically.
See, because Michael
but
Thomas,
that's where the players' union steps in.
Right.
yeah, they have. Well, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Not lobbyists, but they have representation. And Michael Thomas is an example. I think Michael Thomas is a lazy piece of shit. I really do. I have no use for this so much. If I was paid him $40 million last 2 years of New Orleans, I'd be mad. I'd cut his ass. I just can't imagine him do that. Just a bad teammate. I have no use for him. I think he should have got surgery a long time ago. We've had that argument. It don't really matter. There's not a right or a wrong. We both are different on that opinion. But I think when you work for somebody, they have a right to tell you what to do, especially when you're a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player. I mean, you're making a living. It's kind of like the Army. When you get in the Army, you don't have a say-so on shit. You know, if they tell you you're getting a fucking vaccine and shot, you're getting one. You know, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but you're turning your body over to the United States government.
I think if you're making I tell you what, I know a lot of guys in the Army that they would be more than happy to cash that $35 million and have them tell them what to do with their body.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as a football player or any athlete, you're getting that. Just a difference of opinion. We can go on this. But I think the vaccine card deal, I think them going to the airlines and telling them, hey, you're going to have a vaccine. I'm not flying nowhere no more. That'd be the end of me flying. And I want to thank Brandon Surecki for that. I'm not getting on a fucking airplane if I have to have a vaccine. I'm not going anywhere he has a vaccine card. And you can't tell me that. I don't believe 60% of Americans, even though 60% have had the shot, I don't think 60% of the people that had the shot want mandates either. Because I know a lot of people that have had the shot that was their freedom to do it. They don't care if you have a shot, but they took it, you know. And I think they respect your right to not have it.
I know a lot of people like for instance, my mom, to keep her job, she had to get the vaccine.
Right.
But it's like,
Does she care if you have it?
I don't have the vaccine. She doesn't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, look, I had to get the vaccine to keep my job.
Yeah.
Do I care if you have the vaccine? No, I really don't. Because me having the vaccine changes me to have a 99.99% chance of living, and you not makes you have 99.98.
Yeah. Come on.
We'll still both be alive next year.
That's a big point one. I know a person that did not have Thanksgiving with their family because their family members are vaccinated and they didn't want their kids exposed to the virus.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. That's just you're being so dense doing
Well,
that.
they were worried about their kids getting the virus from someone that had been vaccinated than they were the unvaccinated people. They weren't worried about they were worried about the person that had the vaccine.
Oh,
because they
jeez.
carry it more than the people unvaccinated. But I thought, well, that's a complete flip over now. You know, first you hear people complaining that, you know, I don't want to be around unvaccinated people. Now you got people that are unvaccinated. I don't want to be around vaccinated people. I don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, I'd walk into a freaking clinic. I'd walk into a damn homeless shelter. I'd walk into anywhere and not worry about getting the damn. If I'm going to get this shit, I'm going to get it. And I tell you what I'm going to do. Every 28 days, I'm going to ingest 2 cc's of ivermectin. And I have been for the last year. And if I get sick again, I get it. But I'm going to take a chance. I guess Dana White, that's what he did. He went to Dr. Joe Rogan.
I don't know. They say if you have the antibodies, you're 6 times better off than if you have the vaccine.
Really?
Yep.
That's why our pure sperm is worth so much.
That's right. That's why our pure sperm is going to be worth millions.
Well, I better start banking that shit up. All right.
And wasting that shit in the shower no more.
But
Damn.
the thing with this Australia bit is, I guess the Omicron variant is over there. If travel is that hard to get over there, how's Omicron already over there? Like if everybody's got this, you know, you quarantine for 2 weeks before you get here, you submit negative COVID test. How do we have Omicron over there? It's a fucking island. People aren't just walking across the border over there.
Now, and Omicron, or Omicron, is it Omicron or
Omicron? Maybe?
Omicron, whatever the fuck it is. You get the sniffles, sneeze, and a cough for 2 days. That's it. We call that fucking allergies in Texas. We have it from January 1st till December 30th, usually every year. I mean, fucking it happens all the time. And we go to work every day. That's why the liberals are scared of it. God damn, it's actually going to be something that you can work and do. And they don't want you to be able to work.
No, the thing that this is where it's like, all right, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, this is going to go in, we're going to be in March to 2022, and we're going to be dealing with this shit it'll be 2 years to flatten the curve now.
I can tell you, December 6th, 2022, it's going to be going on until about then because they're going to want to at least get to the next election. They don't want people going to vote. They know that they fucked up. This set of people in politics right now is the worst administration this country's ever had, and that means Jimmy Carter and Obama is going to be second and third.
And
the
they're
worst.
happy.
Yeah, and they're happy about shit. They don't give 2 shits. The best thing happened to our country was we got rid of every fucking politician there, every one of them, even the fucking Republican ones. 99% of them, they're a bunch of rhino fucks. Every one of them. They don't give 2 shits about me and you. We are letting 600 fucking people ruin our country.
So do you think, come the next election, do you think Donald Trump's going to run in 24?
Yes.
I think so, and I think he wins. But I think
If
he won
he's
in
healthy.
2020. If he's healthy. If not, Ron DeSantis will win. One of them two should be president. And it don't matter which one of them. I'm telling you right now, we could run out fucking...
I think
you
we
could pick out Mickey Mouse and he could win as a Republican. There is nobody that's got a brain in their head that owns a business, that has kids that want to have a future, that love America, that love God, that want guns, that's going to vote for a Democrat. There's no way. You can't tell me anybody that's got anything common sense is going to vote Democrat.
Did you see there's a gal that was running in Baltimore as a Republican. I don't know for what office, but she was like, this is what your Democrat public officials have been turning your city into. Let me tell you, I've lived in Baltimore. That place is a shithole.
Yes.
Okay. And it's true. She's showing the ugly side of that, Pigtown, Dundalk, all just the hellholes. And it's like, do you guys really want this? Do you want to keep electing Democratic officials to keep burning your city to the ground? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to elect someone that's gonna try to change that for you? And I would hope that underneath this presidency, there's enough people, especially my age, that, all these bleeding heart Democrats that just had to have Trump out of office that went, oh shit, that wasn't a great idea.
I think there's a lot of them that have voters remorse.
Buyer's remorse.
Oh, I would hope so.
I talked to a couple of people in Vermont, and I had a guy tell me, he said, when you go one-on-one, he said, we have get-togethers, wine and cheese and shit. And he said, you get together one-on-one with someone, and he said, they've had a couple of glasses of wine in, and they're like, we're not going in the right direction. Or, I voted for Trump. I just ain't told nobody because I really like what's going on in the country then. He said, there's a lot of that going on. People that regret what they did or secretly saying, hey, I didn't vote for this guy just for this reason.
See, I think that there's a lot of that. You know, when I went to the U, I think there's a ton of people that, you know, put on the facade of being, you know, diehard Democrats, you know, save the penguin liberals, but when they see how much the conservative mindset benefits them, how much the Trump presidency actually did for them, I bet you they went in and were like, all right, yeah, we're going to put D. Trump in as president and just not tell anyone.
I think a lot of that happened. I think it was a true election. I think Trump won easily. Another thing, too, that we've seen in our country is you've got people, like our business is booming. Business is really good for us. And I know a lot of guys in waterfowl. I know some guys are really struggling out there, but a lot of guys have business right now because people are enjoying their freedoms. You know, a lot of people are like, fuck it, who knows what we'll be able to do in 2-3 years, so let's go do stuff we enjoy. But I think the reason why a lot of people have jobs right now is it's because people want to work, and there's plenty of work for people that want to work because there's so many fuckers don't want to. And they're getting that $600, and there's still people are getting money to sit at home. And eventually that money's going to run the fuck out. And when they do that, I think we're really going to have some really hard times in our country because things are getting more and more and more expensive, but people are getting free money.
Well, Pete owns a door business, and he said he's bidding jobs a year out right now. So late December of 2022 or December of 2022. He said, I can't get workers.
That's because he works hard.
He said, I can't get workers right now. So he said, what I'm having to do is I'm having to forecast. So I'm already short workers now. What's it going to look like in a year? So he said, I'm having to forecast the work shortage for a year from now. And he said, it's just making my bids go up because I'm having to mark my services up a little bit more because I just can't find anybody.
And Pete's not an easy guy for him to employ someone because Pete works hard. Nothing bad about Pete. Pete's a hard worker, and we need more of that in the world. But the lazy fucker that wants to come out there and just get paid and show up at work, he ain't gonna work for Pete very long. He's gonna last about half a morning, and then he's gonna go get a break or go to lunch and just leave and not even worry about getting that $30 or $40 Pete owes him for 3 or 4 hours of work, because Pete's works. Yeah. And guys don't want, fucking people are lazy. Young people are lazy. Old people aren't lazy. What scares me is what's gonna happen when if I was unemployed right now and I had to go to work, I could go to work at fucking McDonald's because I would think, boy, that's a fucking easy job. You laughed at me, but it's easy. You sit there, you don't have to fucking push your button to get a Coke to come out. I worked at a drive-in theater when I was 12 years old. At 12 years old, I was working, and I had to push my hand and actually physically push the button so the Coke would come in the glass, and then I had to put a lid on it. Fuck, they got a machine that puts lids on it and fucking fills the Coke up and everything. Fucking a monkey can do that fucking job. It's not hard. But if you go to McDonald's right now, their best employees are the 50 to 70-year-olds that are working in there because they work. Yes, sir. No, sir. How you doing? They don't fuck your bag up coming in. Them fucking 16-year-olds, them fuckers don't give two shits if you get fries or you cut onions off something. They just throw it in the bag and leave.
Well, so you bring up when I'm, not writing articles and doing interviews, I work in the construction industry. And the housing market in everywhere, right? There's hot spots, but the housing market throughout the United States is exploding. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, I can't build a house. It's so expensive. It costs so much money. And it's like, well, yeah, because the raw material and costs of everything is a whole other rabbit hole. But the cost of labor is the highest it's the highest it's been since 2002, 2004. Mm-hmm. And it's because it's like, well, guys, if you would actually work for what that job should pay, the housing market would come down at least a little bit.
Right.
But
it's going to come down. It's going to crash here pretty quick.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But instead, it's costing people... It's costing a contractor, $30 a day or $30 an hour a day to pay framers. Yeah. And guys like Pete, who I imagine are phenomenal at their job, they can go in and say, you know what, if you want me to do this job, here's my bid. I'm going to bid it heavy because I can. Mm-hmm. And it's driving the prices up so high because kids are so lazy that it's like, you know what? I'm going to string all these subs, all these contractors, all these guys out on work that for them to even be able to do their jobs, they have to charge prices sky high. And that's, I mean, at least that's what we're seeing on the west side of the U.S.
Lazy America. I ordered some windows from Home Depot. Got come out and cut some windows. Got the ones Michelle ordered. We ordered them. September 29th, I ordered my windows. 2 days ago, I was looking at my Home Depot. I got a bill from them. And it was like $4,000 more than I thought. I'm like, what the fuck? I started looking at that. Where the fuck do I have a balance on this son of a bitch at? And I looked in November. Nobody charged nothing. November, and I pay my bills online. I don't even look at it because I don't ever buy nothing on that hard account ever, anyways. And I got to September 29th transaction, $3,891. And I'm like, what the fuck? Motherfucker! Somebody bought some damn refrigerators and something and used my credit card. I started thinking, I thought, some bitch I ordered. I wonder where my fucking windows are at. So I called Abilene. I said, hey. Looked up my number. I said, I bought some windows from you on September 28th or 29th, whatever day it was. You charged my credit card for $3,891. Oh, Mr. Stanfield, yes, you sure did. You ordered the windows, blah, blah, blah. 4 windows. It was only 4 fucking windows.
Holy shit.
And that's all, because we've got, just the back of the house, I have new windows. So I had ordered 4 windows in there and had them installed. $4,000. So the guy says, oh, he goes, yeah, those windows will probably be in 3 to 6 months.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
I waited 3 months. It waited so
3
long,
months.
I forgot about it. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't think Michelle didn't ask me about those windows every 2 days after I ordered them, you'd be fucking crazy. For 4 weeks, I heard about them every 2 days. When are our windows going to be in? When are our windows going to be in? When are our windows? They said it'd be a month or so. Okay. Now it's Christmas time almost. Still had no windows. Now they're saying it could probably
3
be
to 6
March
months.
to June. I said, you know what you can do? I said, you go ahead and credit my account. And I said, also do this. Credit the finance charges I've had for 3 months on 3. Oh, sir, it's 6 months, no interest, no pay. Well, that's fine. Just take the $38.91 off my account then, and enjoy my balance of about zero now again. But it's been so long, I forgot about it, and I would just pay them money every month, and because I didn't even look at a bill because I don't buy nothing there ever.
But that's what I'm saying. If they could get 2 kids out of high school to it's not hard to install windows. It
Right.
really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get 2, 3 kids to go actually work.
I'm going to try to hire Andy and Tony to do it for me when I get some windows reordered.
Oh, there
now.
you go. That takes your cost of labor down. You
No,
could
you don't know how much
get,
they charge.
Well, maybe
I've
I
gotten
don't,
awfully
but-
expensive now that the podcast is going. my labor is.
Hey, you're the world famous. You can.
That's exactly
You
right.
can charge
I can
whatever
charge
you
whatever
want.
the hell I want.
But can you imagine ordering windows and it's going to take almost 9 months to get here? How the fuck can you build a house right now? How could you be a contractor and build a house knowing you need $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of windows?
Oh, there's one of the custom home builders. Actually, I hunt with him back home, but he's like, yeah, I have to, if for houses that I'm building now, I know that if I want it done in 3 years, I have to be ordering shit right now.
That's crazy though. I couldn't believe how much windows were.
I can't believe windows are that
shit.
much.
I was like, God damn. You know, Michelle didn't want the cheapies, of course. You know, she picked out the, and we didn't. And this is what's bad. I didn't even get the fucking windows she wanted.
They got some expensive.
She wanted the
windows.
black ones that had the wood in them.
wood in them.
The black wood windows instead of the metal in them. She wanted wood frame windows. It's got the little squares that are wood, and they're black.
That microphone's getting the better of.
Yeah, it is. And anyways, I'm like, what? I said. So finally, after we got them ordered, they didn't come in the exact width that we needed. So the lady said, we can do those, but they'll be in
June.
graphite, plastic, or something, but they're not the wood ones. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I told Michelle, oh, I don't want those. I want the wood ones. Well, you're going to have to wait a fucking year to get those. Well, I was going to have to wait 9 months for the plastic. So it turned out to be a blessing, because what would have happened is no matter how good those windows would have looked, they would not have been the wooden ones that she wanted. Double hung was a problem too. And that's what we have in the rest of the house.
Double hung.
That's the kind you have in your house where the top you can pull them down too.
Oh, where both move.
Yeah, and I didn't know what that meant either until that guy's a double hung. That's just half hung, but anyway,
Just
go ahead.
double hung.
Quarter hung.
Hung like a seahorse, buddy.
I've never been described as double hung.
So, What are y'all working on with split reed right now? Like y'all, it's in season right now. So like, do y'all have like a set schedule on what you want done?
Yeah. So right now with split reed, at least so what I'm seeing on my end is we've got all of our articles. They're all lined up right now into January, and then we've got some big stuff with. Like last season, we did that thing with duck camp dinners with Chef Jean Paul.
Yep.
So we I don't know if so we're doing that again. And we got season 2 lined up. Few different brands that we're bringing on. More partnerships that we're excited to be announcing. Nick and Duncan, they've got their thing that they're spearheading up in Canada, so they've been diving into that one. So
they've been hunting a lot and screwing off.
Yeah. I don't know.
And making meatloaf or whatever it was.
Yeah. They've been up there stirring the pot between Timmy Hortons and A&W, starting that civil war in Canada. But as far as split reed, we're just right now, at least for me, this is actually my favorite time of the year to write articles because there's tons to write about. Everyone's hunting. There's tons of content to make. Right now I'm doing a lot of the like content or the branding articles for Browning. So I'm excited to work with that. And then for the most part, we'll just ride that out until the end of the season, and then that's pretty much it. We got short films. We're doing a ton of short films,
like with outfitters or like just freelancers.
No, we're doing quite a few short films with. Let me see if I can pull that up.
You got a talented young writer on this working for y'all now too.
Yes,
Jeff Stanfield.
Jeff
No,
Stanfield.
we do have. We've got the great Jeff Stanfield, who is now writing for us. The Cleatus and Ollie
Plug
column.
myself.
Yeah, no, and in all honesty, it's doing great.
Well, good.
So yeah, to the readers, because there's plenty of people who.
And don't judge my grammar.
Oh,
I'm
don't
sure.
worry,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Ryan tries to fix most of it.
Yeah, I try to put it through the gauntlet in the editing process before it goes to the
You've
website.
seen some of my self-edited stuff in the book you was reading yesterday, so it's bad.
Now, is that something that you knew how to do, or is that something that you've learned how to do? Edit like an article? Because
so when I went to school, we had to take an editing class, and they'd give you a paper that was all sorts of murdered, and you had to go through and refine it and get it properly edited.
Do they pay for these things at school? Because I can just send them some of my shit all the time.
if you need free material,
you sure can try.
There you go.
Here you go. And all honesty, yours aren't bad.
They're horrible. Ask Michelle.
Okay, they're.
Well, hold on. So it's already gone through one filter with Mom.
No, she doesn't. I just send it to him. I don't even take the steps. I don't want to listen to that.
The thing the thing that kind of kicks my ass when I get a Cleatus and Ollie, I don't mind putting the periods in the right spot or where they need to be, or putting the apostrophe here and there.
I know what you're going to say before you say it, I bet.
Okay, what is it?
Second and third person.
Damn it, yes.
Yeah, because I get lost in that sometimes. Because I'm writing about my own stories, but I'm having to write it about someone. It's a confusing deal.
Yeah.
You should try reading it.
I can imagine what you're going through with that, and I've always done that. I have a really good imagination and I write stuff, but sometimes I get caught up as I am the character instead of me writing about the character.
I know that's what's happening, but I'll be right. It ties together because you tie it together well, but so you've got sometimes like 3 or 4 characters that are, in this hunt together. And then you'll bounce back and forth between first, second, and third person at some points. And I'm like, okay, is he quoting someone? Is this something where he's thinking it to himself? Is he saying it to someone? I don't know what to do here.
My problem is I write fast, and I write them in 15 or 20 minutes. So I write real fast. And I'll go back and try to fix what I screw up as I notice it, but sometimes I don't. But And everybody I've put in my deal. I had a guy call me that was one of Randy Bart's friends that said that last one meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
Because I tied Randy. I like Randy. Randy was a good friend of mine. He was a really good man. And I even kind of got teared up when I thought about it at the end. But I try to put people in there that I've met in the waterfowl industry.
How did you end that one? You ended that one quite sentimentally. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
You read it?
Yeah, I skimmed it, Jeff.
I'm kind of surprised. Nobody in my family likes any of my writing.
Well,
I could write a Pulitzer Prize winning book, and my kids would never read it. I'm serious. Never.
it said something at the end. I'm going to try to find it.
I think I can get it right
Part
here.
4?
Yep.
Part 4. It's at the very bottom. R.I.P. Randy Bartz. You made the world. Hold on, that's not it. A day not shooting birds. What the hell? I read it, and now I can't find it. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was just how it ended simply. Randy Bartz. You made the world a better place. Period. The end.
Said something about he lost friends in Vietnam.
Well, no, I died. Okay. Hold on. Cleatus remembers when he lost a good friend in Vietnam, died in a foreign land surrounded by the smell of war, diesel, sulfur, and the rotten swamp. He has had 50 years of memories and great days. His friends lost all of that in a moment. What he would give to be sitting with his friends talking about what has happened in the world since he passed. Make the most of the days you have. A day not shooting a bird is a day to make up for a lost conversation and times with friends and loved ones. R.I.P. Randy Bartz. You made the world a better place.
Randy did. He was a good guy. He meant a lot to a lot of people. I don't know anybody that didn't. Randy Bartz and Jeff Stanfield are a lot different. I don't know anybody that didn't like Randy Bartz. I don't know very many people that like Jeff Stanfield, so there you go. I don't think Randy had enemy. Really good guy, especially in the waterfowl world, so as cutthroat as it is and stuff. Because Randy was never in it to make a lot of money. I don't think. I think he just liked to hunt and gave him something to do to fiddle faddle around. Where you can't say about anybody else in the waterfowl. You can't pick any company in the waterfowl business that makes or manufactures somebody they don't have somebody pissed off at them.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat world.
Do y'all
It's a
have
cutthroat
people
business.
pissed off at y'all right now?
I would.
Have y'all had anything controversial lately?
Yeah.
What?
I did. I wrote an article about blind draws and how blind draws need to hit the road.
What'd you say?
I just said that the fact that we're doing blind draws and
Now explain what a blind draw is for those people that have never heard about it.
so people, you certain states require you to submit your license number, and they draw them to allocate you for a blind draw, whether it be for a day or the year. And it gets, lots of states have lots of different ways that they do it. And so I reached out to certain fish and game offices. I reached out to certain guides. Actually, no, that's a lie. I didn't reach out to any guides. But I reached out to plenty of different people that hunt in states that have blind draws. No one likes how their state runs a blind draw. And I think that a blind draw is stupid. I really do. I think that, one, it takes away from a hunter's ability to scout.
Right.
And two, I think that everybody that I've talked to has found a way to cheat it. Some people have found a way to monetize their blind draw.
How so? Like they get a good number and then they sell it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll get a good number, go out and say, all right,
I got number one.
who wants
I
it?
respect that.
Jeff and his
I'll be-
entrepreneur.
I'll
That's
be honest.
capitalism.
So did I.
Yeah.
That is capitalism at its finest.
Hey, if you get paid to hang fucking Christmas lights and some other bastard sitting on the side of the road fucking begging for $1, you're doing you fucking right. You found a way to make a living. Wrapping Christmas gifts, whatever. Anything like that, hell yes.
But as far as controversy,
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut this short.
I had a kid.
We can go. No, go ahead. Finish your
But-
thought. We got 10 minutes.
No, I had a dude, and this has actually happened a few times. But people have reached out to me and, I'm gonna fucking hunt you down. You can't be posting this type of shit.
What?
Yeah.
Over a blind fucking draw?
Well, it happened over the blind draw. Someone was pretty pissed about that. I don't know
What do they
why.
like about it? I mean, what's so good about the blind draw that they're willing to hunt you down and break your kneecaps?
I don't know. I have no idea.
How do you vote for Joe Biden? Don't know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, he was mainly upset about. I sent him a message. I was like, hey, I understand you're probably pretty upset. Do you care if I ask what you were mad about? Mm-hmm. And he never got back to me.
See, that was it.
I don't. We have every podcast we make somebody mad about something. Sometimes it's a lot of people mad about shit. Sometimes it's very few, but there's always going to be. But I found out the bigger our podcasts get, the better it's going to be when that happens, because that means we're doing something right. Because the same guy that's bitching is going to read what you write next week.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%.
I can't stand Skip Bayless, but I listen to his ass sometimes.
Just to see what he
just
says?
because he pisses me off.
Just to get pissed off. Just to get fucking
God.
Just makes
that
me
stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, I wrote one, and I've had plenty of people send me an email, because you can, at the bottom of my articles, you can click on my ugly mug, and it takes you right to my Instagram.
Right.
I wrote an article on like the top 10 or top 5 sleeper states, because I went through and looked at a whole bunch of different harvest reports and what states where people were just mopped up the birds. And if I remember right, like Rhode Island, people cleaned them up in Rhode Island.
No, you pissed the people in Rhode Island off, though.
Here they come.
Let me tell you, I hot spotted Rhode Island, and so I got a message from someone.
Did you take that down? I can't find it here.
No, it should be up there.
Well, Andy done the same thing in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah. What town was that in? You started?
Alamosa.
Alamosa. The people in the motel business have sent Andy and Jesse on a cruise this year with all the extra business they've had, because Andy talked about it.
I said you could easily shoot bands in Alamosa.
Really?
We ban hunted in Alamosa.
Now,
where's your list? Cleatus Ollie Part 4.
Oh, you got a ways to go.
I thought it was recent because I remember seeing it.
Oh yeah, no, you still got to go down.
That's as far as it goes.
Older.
Oh.
Come on, familiarize yourself with my website.
Get going. Hang on, we're finishing this. You served, it was a little chilly last night, so it'll be fine. Nebraska 2-tier bag limit. That's one thing that I do like. What the hell? How far is it?
Oh, no, we're back to Cleatus and Ollie's original story almost. We're in July now.
Did y'all just post? I mean, because I remember seeing it not too long ago.
We reran it.
Reran it, okay.
The original one's it was.
Oh, okay.
It was a while ago.
Oh, so anyway, we don't have to pull it up. Rhode Island is up there, and that pissed people off from Rhode Island because they're like, you're going to ruin my state.
They don't want people coming there to hunt. The local guys don't want out-of-state people coming.
And I don't blame them at all, but
right.
Fuck them. I wrote the article, and
That's the same with Arkansas. The locals in Arkansas don't like all the people. They don't mind all the money coming in, but they don't want out-of-state hunters in Arkansas. They can say what they want. They don't. The outfitters do, but the people that are hunting on their own don't. Oklahoma's getting to be that way, too. So many guys come to Oklahoma to hunt on their own because of places, all around Enid and stuff where they can maybe get on some water around Ponca City. And those guys, they get pissed. But it's all part of it. Right now, I'm telling you right now, you're listening to this and you want to go hunt, you better go to fucking somewhere close to the North Dakota-Canada border, because there's been lack of winter. I read a deal today, this morning, at the field watching y'all hunt at 7:15, live reports from Oklahoma and Kansas duck hunting, and it wasn't too bueno in a lot of spots. Now, I'm not saying that one guy didn't shoot a limit of mallards, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that did, but a lot of people don't have any ducks.
Oh,
and it's all through the Midwest right now, I think.
I know right now on the, like in Utah, tons of ducks. We've finally got them to move in a little bit, but as far as the big pushes, no.
You said you shot, 3 times in Utah this year?
At Honker. We've done okay on the ducks, but I've shot 3 times at Honkers.
The one thing that I read, it was on the migration report on Facebook, and it said, big push of snows in the Dakotas. And somebody wrote, it's fucking December 4th. Why the hell are snows still in the Dakotas?
It's true.
Like, on a normal winter, they're down here, or they've already passed us. Like back in the heyday when we used to have winter, snows December 4th would be on the Katy Prairie.
Yes.
Not in North and South Dakota. So.
No, we don't have no winters no more. I'll tell you what, a guy asked me today, he said, Jeff, y'all having a pretty good season. I said, we've had a great season. We've had a great season for the conditions. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
We have had a great season for the conditions.
Well, if you'd have told me, for it to be as warm as it has been and to have the 3 hunts that we've had,
Yeah.
I mean, we've had 3 bangers, and I've been rolling around in a Carhartts, a T-shirt, and a hoodie.
Fuck, we scouted last night. It was 83 degrees, I think.
It's going to be 81 tomorrow.
All right, and then it's going to be 50 on Monday. It's crazy, but at least we're getting some north wind. All right, let's go feed our
Ryan, we
hunters.
appreciate you. It has been a pleasure hunting with you the last couple of days.
Yeah, no.
And it's always fun reading your stuff on Split Read.
I appreciate it, Andy. Phenomenal guide work.
I
For those of
appreciate
you that just listen to the podcast and haven't had the chance or are still just not on the cusp of coming down here, do it. You won't be disappointed. Even if, I mean, it is awesome down here.
How would you rate the food?
The food? Oh, dude, the food is. I was gonna say, if you don't come down for anything else, at least come down for the food. It is phenomenal.
Michelle
biggest-
just put a big old plate of chocolate chip cookies up
The
just
biggest
now.
compliment that we get is you guys are exactly like y'all are on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
That's the biggest compliment that I can get.
There's nothing fake about the podcast. You come down here and it's the podcast, the atmosphere that you listen to on the podcast is 100% real. And I don't know, it's 100% authentic, and the hunting's phenomenal. You know, it's been 3 days of awesome hunting. Josh, Blake, everyone, it just, the atmosphere in and of itself, even if the hunting sucked,
Yeah.
coming back to the lodge and just bullshitting with everyone, I couldn't recommend this enough.
That's-
It's been a great experience.
Well, thank you. It's a great life. We've been very
Appreciate
blessed.
it. We'll see what it's like in another month if the 80-degree weather continues.
Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great week. And remember, December 7th next week. Don't forget about what happened at Pearl Harbor.
Thank you, Ryan. Bye, everybody. Go check out all of our wonderful and great sponsors. Check out Steak Plains Meat, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Shin Gear Waders, Boss Shot Shells, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Gundog Outdoors, Eyesight Drones, Goose Creek Retrievers, Bangtail Whiskey, and Stanfield Hunting Outfitters.